And so we was gonna go, and Dick just says, won't I go with you? So we said, okay. So we took Dick and we went way out in the boonies, and we found this little cabin out there, and we found out it was a ski tow cabin where they would tow people up the hill to ski. And we was cold, so the doors was locked, so we decided we'd crawl. There was a hole about this big where the rope come out to tow the people up the hill. So we climbed up and went in that hole and got in there. We had 2 dogs. We got them in there. Then we decided, big old stove in there, let's build a fire and get warmed up. So we didn't really realize that, because we was only in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And so we didn't realize what gas would do to fire. So we put some gas in the stove and spilled a little on the floor. And we lit that thing, and of course it just went out. So we tried to put the fire out, and it just, old wood building, it just was going up. And so it started getting hot in there. I told my friend, I says, you jump out the hole. And I had to lift Dick up because he was too little to reach the hole. Reached him up and pushed him out the hole, and the guy caught him, and I stayed in there, and I was going to get the dogs and throw them out. But the dogs was so scared because the fire and everything, and they just running wild, and I couldn't catch them. I just tried and tried to catch them. Got hotter and hotter in there. I knew I had to get out or I'd burn up, so I crawled out the hole, and we went up and away from it and watched it burn for a while. And then after we watched it, I told him, I says, it's a long ways home, and we better get going. It's going to be dark before we get home. So we took off and went home. On the way home, I told Dick, I says, don't you tell nobody that we burnt that house down. Oh no, I won't say nothing. So we got home, and the next day was school. Me and my friend went to school, and Dick wasn't going to school yet, so he was there, and a fire truck or a police whistle or somebody come by, and the whistle was blowing. It wasn't coming to us, but just going by the house. So Dick got scared, and he ran and jumped under the bed. Mom says, what's the matter with you? Nothing, he says. And so she drug him out from under the bed and says, something's got to be wrong. You jumped under that bed. So he told her, we burnt his ski house down. Anyway, 2 weeks later, they shipped my dad to Florida to run the crane in the shipyard. So we left Fairplay, and we went all the way to Florida, and I was so glad we moved out of the country because they would never find me clear down to Florida.